All right, Panther fans. So here's what we got here. This is a good friend of mine. His name is Alex. He's been a big supporter of my channel for years, quite some time. I'll just put it that way. And he has started his own YouTube channel, and I just absolutely love the name. And now his moniker on the streams and everything used to be Bud the Monkey. And so he came up with this, but he wanted to have something with having to do with hockey in the name. He couldn't just call himself Bud the Monkey. So he went and chose Puck Monkey, and I absolutely love it. And so, Alex, welcome to the YouTube world. You've already, and we'll talk about this, you've already learned your first lesson in your first video. It's fantastic. So congratulations. And just tell us a little bit about yourself, the content that you're going to make and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm a huge hockey fan. I love all 32 teams. I'm a big Panther fan. Been watching and going to the games since before I can even remember. I have season tickets, so I get to go to the games often. And I love the Panthers. I love the NHL. I love hockey. I play a lot of NHL. And I decided to make a YouTube channel to show my passion of hockey and to make content.
Right. So give us an idea. Because his first video was just talking about some of the Panthers situation with the salary cap, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, you had mentioned to me some other things like historical videos. What's that going to be about?
So let's say there's this. The first video I'm working on currently is a 2011-2012 New Jersey Devils, the one that went to the Stanley Cup final that year, and basically how that marked the end of their almost like dynasty-like era. They reigned the NHL from the 90s to 2000s, and how that run was the final run for them.
Right. Yeah. And then in 10 years, she'll be making a video about the 2021-2022 Tampa Bay Lightning, who won 2 in a row, and how this year was the final run for them because the Panthers took over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just Panthers. Yeah. 5 years in a row.
Yeah. We'll believe it when we see it. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we kind of want to just talk a little bit about the video that I'm going to just, do we call you Alex? Do we call you Puck or Monkey? Because with my videos, nobody knows what to call me either. Half the people, no. 10% called me Eric. Out of the other remaining 90%, about 70% call me Jaws, and everybody else calls me Fluffy. And I have to remind everybody, Fluffy is the dog.
Yeah.
So you want Alex, you want Puck, or you want Monkey? When we're shooting one word at you, what do you want?
I like Alex only because I can always like respond to that really quick.
Right.
But Puck Monkey, like as a whole, I like the Puck Monkey report. Like what I named the first video. Like it gives it a good flow.
Yeah.
And like a good like title for a video.
Okay, yeah, it got to me for, I mean, a few more people know my name now, but for a couple of years, everybody just called me Jaws, and when somebody would say Eric, it would be like, oh, that's right, that's my name. So it'll happen naturally for you at some point. Now you talked a little bit about, and I kind of got a giggle out of this because you learned your first YouTube lesson in your first video, and I've talked about this before. We mentioned it, where I would make a video about whether it's breaking news or a rumor or something having to do with a player. And, it takes you 10 minutes, 15 minutes to record the video. You got an hour, maybe 2 hours in the editing and the processing and the uploading, and you upload it and you send it to Twitter. And by the time you're done, your information, something in your video no longer is accurate. And then people will come into comments and let you know that you got it wrong. And you're like, it was right when I said it. So your first video, you were talking about salary cap and who to sign. And I'm watching it last night and I'm just laughing because you talked about the Max and Mammon contract you were suggesting. And I'm like, this poor kid, because welcome to YouTube, man. That is the sports world, especially even when it's true, but something eventually is going to change and make it untrue for you. So talk a little bit about some of the points that you made in the video, because you actually had some pretty good ideas in terms of contract wise. And different options. You gave us different options in terms of the contract. So go ahead.
So I did no massive trades, so like no Bobrovsky trade, no Uyghur trade, nothing like that. So I had 3 options. The only option the things that were applicable to all options were like re-signing some prospects like Heponiemi and Denisienko, who I think should crack the roster, because that's the only way they'll feel their impact, or else we might have to trade them for an actual player.
Yeah, and
on the run.
I wanted to talk to you about that. I don't want to interrupt, but I want to stop on that point because it was in my head to talk to you about that. Um, you had him in a couple, you had him slotted in below, and then at towards the end, you were kind of like, do you want to put Reinhardt back in that, that third line with Lundell or in Marchment? Maybe do you want to try Danisenko up in that top six? Now, what would that top six look like? In that if you're putting Danisenko up there, what do you got for your top six?
I mean, to be no Claude Giroux and probably Mason Marchment will be there. We keep that third line of Marchment, Lundell, and Reinhardt.
Right.
And then we have the wingers as Verhaeghe, Duclair, Huberdeau, and then Denisenko. Depending now, do you put Denisenko with Bennett and Huberdeau? Maybe he becomes that sniper in a way with Sam Bennett becoming the power forward, or do you put him up with Carter Verhaeghe to also become the sniper? And Barkov. Barkov becomes the two-way / playmaker.
Right.
Verhaeghe becomes the power forward, and Denisenko again is a sniper.
Interesting. Well, we've talked a lot about that on the stream, where we're going to need some of these guys, some of these younger guys to step up, because like you said, one of the options you created, literally we had no cap room afterwards.
Yeah, it was like $6,000 in cap space.
Right. And not even enough to buy a pizza. So all right. So continue on. So you have these different options. And now with Mammon, we obviously know Mammon is gone. What was the contract you had for Marchment? Because it was interesting, because you considered it an underpay.
Yeah, I believe he's going to, if he would sign with Florida, he'd take a pay cut, because we created his career and who he is now. And it'd be a short-term deal, like 1 or 2, possibly 3 years.
Right.
And I chose like $2.5 million. I looked at last year, Duclair got $3 million. I could see him getting $3 million as well.
Right. Okay. I see. So when you say pay cut, you mean compared to what he would think he's worth now? Because we talked about that again on the stream, and people were kind of thinking 3 times 3. But to your point, everybody's going to have to take the razor a little bit if they want to, stay on the team, and that includes Uyghur too, right? Now the Spencer Knight thing, you kind of had the same reaction that I did in your video when you're looking at it all, and basically you were kind of like, I don't want to talk about this, so I'm going to talk about Uyghur. Right, because all of us went through all the season talking about Uyghur and his extension, and then I made that video, and I'm like, guys, Spencer Knight's on an expiring contract too. We didn't think about it.
We just got him like because he was signed at the end of last season, so I kind of didn't have to worry about the ELC, but I guess that first year wore off.
Yeah. And so there's a decision to make there, and that's where the Bobrovsky trade rumors, that's where we knew this mess was coming. Let's just put it that way. On when I forget the order, so forgive me if I get it wrong, but within the same week, I guess it would have been the draft is first. So we drafted Knight, and then we signed Bobrovsky. That's how it would have, So
they're like rumors that they already had like pre-signing, like Bobrovsky knew he was going like months before. It wasn't pen to paper until free agency.
Right. So, but in that week, Talon created this mess that we have now, because you draft this kid who has, I don't want to say Hall of Fame credentials, but certainly has, Vasilevsky-ish, Shesterkin-ish look to him. And then you sign Bobrovsky for how many years? So we knew this mess was coming. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, because we got Knight. So at that point, that's when you say, okay, let's get a guy in for 2 or 3 years at $5 million a year until Knight is ready. Did you have a Bobrovsky? You did not have a Bobrovsky trade.
It'd just be so complicated. It would like hurt my head with all these salary retentions and these prospects coming in and out all throughout.
Right. Now, I'm curious if you think that this is the way it could go. My proposition was throwing in Uyghur into a Bobrovsky deal so that we wouldn't have to eat as much salary cap. Of course, that depends on if the team has decided that they can't re-sign Uyghur. I think the job we don't want right now is Bill Zito.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, Uyghur and Bobrovsky, that's now 3 million plus. I'm $13 million in cap space to the next team. So let's say you want to give them to the Oilers because the Oilers have old man Mike Smith. He might
Right.
be retiring. Maybe for some reason we want to take his LTIR money, Duncan Keith, maybe as a cap dump, maybe buy him out if we want to, or offer Oscar Clefbaum, who's been LTIR Ironman for like the past year or so.
Right.
Like
Right.
maybe we
Right.
take dead cap, maybe a second or something like that. If they consider Bobrovsky as a positive asset with Uyghur.
Right. And the whole kicker with all that, of course, is the no move clause. I mean,
Yeah.
somehow, some way, somebody's got to convince Bobrovsky that Edmonton is nicer than South Florida.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell. Yeah, and if Colorado would have not won, if they would have lost to Tampa, they may have been thinking, well, maybe we need a goalie. If they thought Kemper didn't cut it, but that cross that out,
Yeah.
cross that option out. Because I'm thinking, how many teams Bobrovsky, if he's going to waive, he's only going to waive to a team that could possibly win, right?
Yeah.
Was it you that was telling me they were here in the Capitals, or was that someone?
I mean, there's been rumors about the Capitals, and that could make sense. I mean, you have the Russian connection, Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Orlov.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
And then we saw it in the playoffs. They had to rely on 2 goaltenders, and I think in order to keep this Ovechkin era they're having, like
Right.
this Ovechkin farewell party they're basically having,
Right.
him chasing Gretzky and him trying to maybe get another cup. They could, let's say, for some reason, because I've seen a lot of trade rumors on Cap Friendly, like they want like Sam Bennett as well, in a way, yeah. And like Sam Bennett plus
This
like
video
2
is
million
over
retained.
now. We're not even having this discussion.
Yeah, like that's
What?
what I saw. I saw that like 4 or 5 trade proposals. Like they want Sam Bennett, and then we
Yeah.
get like someone like a Lars Eller to fill in that third line center, move Lundell back up. It's like and then we get one of their backups, like either Vanacek or Samsonov. But we also have to retain 2 million. It's like a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 3 or 4 guys that you're gonna get a big fat no from me on, and Sam Bennett is one of them. Now I love Lundell, but now let's play chicken head here and be like Barkov, Lundell, Reinhardt. I mean, that's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah,
That's not the end of the world. And let's also be on. We talked about this later.
you can save money for Claude Giroux, and he
Well,
can be your second line center.
Right. I mean, that's another. I'm not really interested in Bobrovsky. I mean, Bobrovsky and Semenik going to Capitals. They could actually win with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's helping them a little bit too much.
But the only reason why it makes sense in a way is Backstrom is like injured for all of next season, basically. They're
Right.
second line center behind Kuznetsov. So they may be
Okay.
looking for a center to fill that Backstrom. I mean, nobody can replace Backstrom, but who can at least replace a second line center role.
Now I'd be willing to give him Reinhardt.
I don't think so. Reinhardt is having like the 5th best Panther season of all time.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, let's put it this way. Considering we gave up 2 twos for Bennett and we just signed Reinhardt as a free agent, asset management wise, if they want one, right?
Well, I think we traded for Reinhardt's rights. The
Did we
first and
trade for
Levi.
his
Yeah,
rights?
it was like this first coming up year, and Devon Levi.
Oh, that's right. And then
That
Levi
was
didn't
draft day
sign.
last year.
That's right. We gave up Levi, and then he didn't re-sign with Buffalo either. So
Not yet, anyways. I think they
Yeah,
sold his rights.
yeah. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of moving parts for sure. So now, how often do you think you're going to be uploading content and whatnot?
I'm planning every Panther news. So let's say the Panthers were to sign someone today.
Right.
I put the camera back up, upload a video, edit, and it'll probably be either up the night of or the next morning.
Right.
And then I'm planning to make these like bigger videos, talking like the historical videos, like in Jersey Devils. I just started last night. I'm only have like 2 minutes progress on, but that alone with all the editing took me like 2 hours.
Yeah, Alex learned his second YouTube lesson, which is on average for every minute of content. I don't want to say it's an hour of editing, but sometimes it can average out to that. Like the Crazy Bill was about 8 minutes long, and that was certainly 6 hours of filming and editing. That's the one thing with this job is that like a video like this, it's a Zoom, it's recording itself. It'll upload. These are easy. I love these. These are so easy because it just saves to the computer, uploads, and however they produce it, it uploads it like quick, like a half-hour video uploads in like 4 minutes. But when you're working with an editor, as you know, if it's a half-hour video, it's going to take half-hour to upload. You know what I mean? Half-hour to produce, half-hour to upload. It's a lot. It really is. So I'm glad you're getting some of the earlier lessons out of the way at first. You know, wait till you're doing you like you're finding out now. You're doing a longer video, and you know, you'll start at noon and you'll look at your timeline. You'll be like, all right, cool, I got 4 minutes done. And you look, it's 6:30. It's that was my whole day. You know what I mean? So, well, I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're doing it. You know, more somebody on Twitter was joking when because I tweeted you out, talked about you. They said stop promoting the competition, and I don't look at it like competition. You know, I've tried to tell people this all along. The more the better, because the way that, and this is true. People think, yeah, but there's actual reason behind this. The way that the algorithm works is the algorithm is looking at search terms. Okay. So it's got Florida Panthers as a search term. The more people, I don't care if it's watching me, yours stuff, Georgia stuff, doesn't matter. The more people that are watching Florida Panthers stuff that has the hashtag, the tag in it, the more that all of our stuff gets shown. So it's not a competition. That's the thing. People are going to like me. People are going to like you. People are going to like whoever they like. You can't force somebody. Like I've never heard of somebody in any subject going, well, I was watching this guy, but I found this guy, and now I don't watch the guy I liked anymore. It doesn't work that way on YouTube. You know, the more of us, the better, because the more times that damn robot on YouTube clicks Florida Panthers, they go, okay, show another one, show another one, show another one. So I'm glad you're doing it. So in closing, I'll let you close things up. What, anything you want people to know about you or the channel or etc.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I just started. Don't like go fire all these like all these comments at me. I mean, I'm just starting and I'm getting used to it. I know my editing is very choppy as at this moment, but I'm already making improvements, found better software, and I'm excited to see where this channel goes.
Yeah. So look, the editing, I didn't even edit any of my videos for at least the first year. I mean, we all know where my first video was, okay? And it wasn't even with the nice flag. Nice flag, by the way. Where'd you get that flag?
I don't know. I think I won it somewhere.
Yeah,
like
you know a guy.
Stream. Yeah.
You know a guy who knows a guy, right? Yeah. They're right over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I've still got like 200 of them left, and they sell good, and I give them away. But yeah, I mean, my first video, everybody knows, I did in the back of the van with the hung my. I had no idea what I was doing. I could have just hung it on the wall in the house, but what it was I couldn't get a quiet space because that's, you know, the kids were younger and the dogs were younger, and it was just a madhouse in here. And so I hung the video, the flag up in the van, and I did that. And I did the videos for the first couple of years. I had a little Surface Pro. I still have it. And I'm looking down at it, right? It's like this, and I'm looking down. It's just horrible. It was awful. And then the lighting, if you see the lighting, and at some point, I don't know when it happened, but I moved some lights around, and for like a year, I had this red glow because it was like I was surrounded by the red, and I had on the red. So like I had this red glow about me for like a year. And I don't think when did I start editing stuff? I'm thinking when I got that computer, probably 2017. So probably about a year and a half into the channel is when I said, okay, screw this. And I bought at that time, it was a $2,000 editing film. I mean, like I could do anything. I overbought. Let's just put it that way. I had money then, and I just put it on the Best Buy card. And I could do anything. I could fly to space on what I bought, you know? And then that's when I started editing. So the point is that you're already ahead of the game. Just the fact that you're learning the editing now, that helps. Number two, you're not 50 and blind like me. So you could actually look at the screen for 4 hours straight, and it won't ruin your week. You know what I mean? So you'll do good. You'll do good, man. But yeah, be nice in the comments, but also constructive criticism does
Yes.
help.
Constructive criticism, no doubt.
Yeah, it does help. Like I said obviously this entire video until now?
Not yet. Steve, it's your moment now.
There you go, Steve. I'm working on clearly. So I don't even know. I didn't know I was saying obviously a lot, but I didn't know I was saying 2 points. I didn't know I was clapping either. And people pointed that out in the comments and that became a thing. So who knows? By this time next year, I'll be selling a shirt that just says obviously, right? So, all right, Alex, Puck Monkey. I like it. Make sure you guys check out his channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description to his channel. All right. He had his first video out yesterday. He's probably going to take a couple of days to get his next one out. He's got a bigger project video out. So I know how those can go. I have project videos that we're working on for years. I just can't finish them. So I know how that goes, man. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. And yeah, I'll see you personally on the stream later. As for the rest of you people who are still watching, much appreciated. The first Flying Fluffy football video comes out later on this afternoon. I'm going to do a Miami Dolphins schedule. I'm going to look at the schedule, predict the schedule. I just want to get back in the game. I know I'm late, but I just want to get that channel up and rolling again. And then we'll talk about it in that channel, what the plans are for there. So appreciate all the support, and we will see you again soon.